Hello and welcome back to Jasmine here, and we've just had the change of innings. So Cumbria batted out their first innings of 90 overs, finishing 356 for 8, a lead of 98 over Northumberland. And we've had the 10 minutes changeover, and it's Thompson and Hewison out there facing Siddle at the moment, and there's Thompson who's just driven through the covers for a single. So he's on to 5 now, and the score goes to 5 for no wicket here, Northumberland in reply. So they'll have to make progress in chopping down this lead. And at the start of the day, Cumbria 235 for 4, finished 3, 5, 6 for 8. So we've got brighter weather now. We had a spot of rain, the tiniest spot of rain there as the players changed over, as the teams changed over, but we've got 3 slips and a gully in for Hewison now. Siddle over the wicket left arm, and Hewison just plays that down from the crease, and it goes in to gully there where it's picked up, and there's no run, and that's the end of the over. The end of the first over of the Northumberland second innings here. So we've lost 3 overs for the change of innings there, so we've got 86 left in the day. Official finish time 5:30 on the third and last day here, and then when that's done we've got the extra hour to add on as well. But we'll just have to see how it pans out, and it's going to be Watkinson who's going to take up the next over, and we'll bring you, as soon as I can, I'll bring you a full scorecard from the Cumbria innings. But at the moment, with the weather brightening here, still plenty of cloud hanging about, but we're going to have 3 slips, a gully, a point, mid-off, a mid-on, mid-wicket and a final leg. 5 for no wicket, Northumberland, 93 behind in the match here. Watkinson, right arm over the wicket, bowls to Thompson, that is, who's on the back foot, playing out towards the cover boundary. 2 men in pursuit, they haul this one in, they've got 2, they're coming back for 3 towards us. Thompson there, and he adds 3 more to his total, takes him to 8, and the score goes to 8 for no wicket. So good afternoon if you've just joined us for the first time here on our first scheduled broadcast of the day here from Jasmine, the third and last day of this minor county championship match between Northumberland and Cumberland. Matthew Erskine speaking to you here for Cricket West Tyne and on Speaker Online Radio, and we're watching Watkinson go in now to bowl to Hewison, and he just shoulders arms to that one and lets it through to Howarth, the wicket keeper. So we've got Dutoit in at first slip there, Zalem at second, looks like Stables at third, and we've got more or less a 4th slip, gully, in there now. There's a bigger gap between that 3rd slip and the 4th slip gully than the rest of them in the cordon there. But here's Watkinson now bowling to Hewison, who drives straight, and he doesn't get it too far, and Watkinson just gets a fingertip on that one as it bounces up, but it comes out here to mid-off, and there's no run again. So Watkinson got a wicket. He got a wicket in the first innings. Him and Siddle are opening the bowling here for the visitors. In he goes again now, bowling to Hewison, who again just lets that one through, and there's no run. And the ball thrown round the slips there. It's with the Zalem at the minute. He's just given the ball a little polish. But as the bowler takes his place back down, Watkinson it is, who's got the ball in his hand now, about to bowl again. Here he goes now. Bowls, and that one's just left outside the off stump again there, and there's no run. So the Cumbria innings, 356 for 8 of the 90 overs. Zalem, LBW, McGee 86, Semple, Court, McCabe bowled Arshad 0, McGladdery, LBW, Simpson 74, Slack not out 82. He did his best at the end there to get the lead into place for Cumbria, but Watkinson again now to Hewison, who drives again, and he's not going to beat mid-off this time. Stables bowled Cant for naught. Jack Detroit caught McGee, bowled Tyndall 76. Watkinson caught Tyndall, bowled McGee 1. Boyne caught Peyton, bowled McGee 7. And Hodgson, Howarth, LBW McGee 7, and Hodgson not out 8, and Siddle didn't bat at the end there. So that was the end of the over, the end of Watkinson's first over there, just the second of the second innings, the Northumberland second innings here. So it's going to be Siddle to take up the attack, and it's 8 for no wicket, 90 behind now, Northumberland. And he's got Siddle is going to come in. Still bright here. The cloud just a little bit higher. 3 slips in a gully and a short square leg, and that's bowled on the stumps this time, and it's driven to the up there to mid-on where it's fielded, and there's no run. The bowling from the Cumbria innings, Ollie McGee, the pick of the bowlers, with 4 for 82 from his 21, and the rest, Usman Arshad, 19 overs, 1 wicket for 51. And Sean Tyndall, 19 overs. Siddle's in again now and bowls to Thompson this time, who just drives up there to mid-off, and there's no run. Tyndall, yes, he's 19 overs, 1 for 69. Usman Arshad, by the way, there, 19 overs, 1 for 51. Hanley, 9 overs, none for 43. Colin McCabe, 6 overs, none for 19. Oliver McGee, as I've just said, the pick there, 4 for 82. Simpson, 4 overs, 1 for 32. As in comes Siddle again now and bowls to Thompson, who just steers that out to mid-wicket there, and there's no run again. And last but not least, Tom Cant, the captain there, 12 overs, 1 for 54. There was 15 extras in the innings, 1 bye, 5 leg byes, 1 wide and 8 no balls, and the wickets fell at 3, 158, 187, 188, 290, 294, 310 and 322. But here's Siddle again now to take up the attack over the wickety bowls, and Thompson just leaves that one outside the off stump, and it goes through to Howarth, the wicket keeper. There's no run again, and it's Hewison at the non-striker's end there, just comes down the pitch and has a little look at what's going on, and the ball about to go back to Siddle at the moment. And 1 for 53 in the first innings, Siddle, as he's in again now and bowls that short and down the leg side, and Thompson it is there, who just tries to steer that one away, but he missed it, and it goes through to the wicketkeeper, and there's no run. The photographers in residence again along the back terrace here, just along from our hut, and we're down behind fine leg at the minute, so we've got 3 slips, we've got 2 slips now in a gully. We've got a backward square leg there quite close in as well, and a point as Siddle bowls again on the stumps, and Thompson just defends that one slightly to the leg side from his crease there, and that's the end of the over. The end of Siddle's over there. So we've got a start here. Northumberland 8 for no wicket, a maiden over there. It's Thompson 8 and Hewison yet to score. So they're still 90 behind at the moment on the first innings scores there. Cumbria 356 for 8, and Hewison it is, who is about to face up, a right-hander. A couple of Tynedale cricketers, young Tynedale cricketers, just walked past in front of our little box here. But here we go again now. Here's Watkinson. fast run up, and he bowls outside the off stump, taking it away from the right-hander there, but Hewison isn't tempted into any rashness there and just lets it through to the wicket-keeper. And there's the lady with the half tent is back on the boundary to the left here, though she's not sitting in it at the moment. I seen her earlier on. She's maybe just disappeared into the pavilion for a few minutes or so, as it's Watkinson again now to Hewison, who just defends that into the leg side, and there's no run. And he makes his way back towards his mark. So yes, if you've joined us here, Northumberland trying to make up this deficit of 98 as they start their second innings here. And you're listening to Cricket West Tyne as Watkinson bowls again and drives for one, and that's a good stop in at mid-off there. And there's again no run. One run there, I beg your pardon, and that takes the score to 9. And it's Hewison who's off the mark with that drive. They were through that quick there, and it was a good stop actually. Probably saved another couple of runs, the stop in the field. But Watkinson again now, in he goes and bowls, and he forces Thompson back this time, and just he defends it off onto the legs, the offside, and there's no run again. So still bright here. A break in the clouds away to the south there. That's not really any good to us, but looking away across to the right where the weather's coming from, we've got higher cloud and not so dark at the moment. And we've got 3 slips, a gully, a point and a mid-off. As in goes Watkinson now and bowls just on that line, or just outside off stump there, and Thompson lifts his bat up and lets it through to the keeper without playing a shot. So 9 for no wicket. Yeah, Northumberland. Thompson 8 not out. And looking up there, Dutoit, the captain at first slip, just standing with a hand on his hip at the moment, just gives his cheek a little scratch. And they all get ready in the slips again. Now they go down, Watkinson goes in, and Thompson plays through the gap into extra cover for a single. And he runs through, and that's the end of Watkinson's over. So Thompson goes to 9 now. The score goes to 10 for no wicket, and it's 88 behind Northumberland are now as they try to bring down this deficit. And it's Hewison on 1. So Northumberland it is who are batting. I'll have to bat a fair amount of time at the moment and bat through and try and, if these two were still in at lunchtime, 1:20 lunch, they would be better off for it. But let's see what happens now as Siddle takes up the new over. Over the wicket he comes in, and it's Thompson who defends that one into the offside, and there's no run. So to be safe, what would we say about a lead of 200 for Northumberland to be safe? And if you look at the table, actually, I was looking at it just a moment ago there, Northumberland second bottom. Now it might not be much happening at the top of the table for these two clubs, but at the bottom they would want to finish one place higher than last season, as Siddle's in again to bowl, and that one's just pushed up to mid-on there, and there's no run again. So Tom Cant and his team, they'll not want to lose this one. His first season as captain of the county, Tom Cant. As the ball is just back up there to Siddle. He turns at the end of his run, a big strapping tall fella. As he runs in now, arms akimbo he bowls, and that's full, and it's driven out by Thompson there up to mid-off, and there's no run. Still 10 for no wicket here, Northumberland. 3 slips. In fact, 2 slips and a gully, a point, a mid-off, a mid-on, a mid-wicket, a backward square leg and a fine leg. Siddle now bowls to Thompson, who lets this one outside. He's off stump, just angled across him there, and Howarth takes it behind. Safe enough, and the gates, the big black gates to our right hand side here, they're open today. I don't know if you might be able to hear the traffic noise coming in from through there on the microphone here, but our first broadcast here this afternoon, we'll go for our first one here till about 20 to 1, and leave you at the end of the best over, as that one's turned up to final leg this time, and it's picked up just in front of our little box here by Watkinson, who throws it in right armed into Howarth, the wicketkeeper, who takes it well back from the stumps there with his lime green and white wicket-keeping gloves on and his green cap. Dutoit there, I think he's the only one out there with sunglasses on at the moment. We haven't actually got any sun at the minute. It's just calm at the moment. I think it's apart from yesterday morning, we didn't have much breeze then, but the trees around to our right and straight in front there, not blowing around much at all, as Siddle bowls into Hewison this time, and he pushes that one up to mid-on, and there's no run. And that's the end of Siddle's over. So 11 for no wicket now, Northumberland, in the second innings here. Third innings of the match. They're trying to pull down this lead Cumbria have, had of 98, so it's 87 now, the lead. 11 for no wicket Northumberland. Thompson 10, Hewison 1, and both right-handers at the crease at the moment. No spectators out across to the right-hand side up towards Osborne Road there, across to our left-hand side. Yes, there's a few out in front of the pavilion there, a few sitting under the balcony underneath the hanging baskets there, and one or two on the terraces on across to our left as well, as Watkinson takes up the new over now and bowls to Thompson, who just pushes out again to mid-on, and there's no run. The cover's in position there. They were off by the time I got here this morning. They're lined up across the left boundary there over towards the cemetery in front of the practice nets. And here's Watkinson again now, bowling to Thompson, who holds his bat high, and he just sort of wafts the bat at that, and it comes off an inside edge and races up to deep backward square just to the right of the score box there, and it's thrown in now, and he's managed to get himself 2 runs with that shot, which is probably more than he thought he might get when he played it. 13 for no wicket now, Northumberland, and Thompson's gone to 12, and it's Hewison on 1. And here's Watkinson again now, right arm, shirt tucked in, clean pair of trousers on today. In he goes now and bowls, and that's down the leg side, and Thompson tries to swing away at it there, but doesn't get any contact on it, and the wicketkeeper takes it fair enough. So 82 overs left in the day here, and it's the ball just hurtled down a long way, so we've still got 3 slips and a gully for Watkinson, and a point, as in he goes again, and that's through the gap between gully and backward point there, and it stopped quickly enough, but not before he comes through for 1 run there, so he's gone to 13. The score goes to 14 for no wicket Northumberland in this second innings. A couple of the ground sheets over there, just not folded up, they're just lying to the right of the score box. The score box, it's a great big affair here. Brown brick bottom with the groundsman's hut just underneath there. The garage is to the left hand side of it, as Watkinson's in again now, and it's Hewison this time who drives square, and they run. They're going back for 2, and it's picked up about 20 yards from the boundary there at deep point and thrown in, and he goes back up to the top end. So 2 more to the total there. 16 now for no wicket Northumberland. Hewison's gone to 3. Thompson 13 not out. And Hewison just leans on his bat at the moment because the ball's still way up at that top end, and it's Stables who dive bombs one of his teammates down here. And Hewison now, the taller of the two batsmen, he sets himself quite a crouched stance as here he waits for the Watkinson now, who bowls outside the off stump, and again he lets that one through and there's no run. And that's the end of the over, the end of that one. So 6 completed now in this Northumberland second innings. 16 for no wicket. Thompson 13. And Hewison 3. And the innings, the Cumbria innings there. Zalem 86, Slack, an excellent innings, 82 not out there at the end. And it was his partnership with Jack Dutoit who was opened the batting the day before there at when we started at 10:30, and he didn't take long to get into his stride for his 76. McGladdery, another important innings there, 74 as well. So it's going to be Siddle now with 2 slips and a gully, a point and a mid-off, and a leg slip in there as well, and that's turned up to mid-wicket by Thompson, and there's no run. And a fine leg in place, well it's long leg really, just to the left of our box between us and the pavilion to our left here. So we're down behind fine leg again, watching as Siddle comes in from the top end, and it's Thompson on strike now. Here he goes. Thompson just watches that one through to Howarth, the wicketkeeper, and there's no run. Still bright enough, and we've got blue sky away to the right hand side. I'll announce that because we haven't seen it for quite a while. I don't even think we've seen much of it yesterday in the morning when the weather was calm enough here. But away from where the weather's coming from, a break in the clouds up there. But Siddle again now, left arm over the wicket, comes in, bows to Thompson who turns around the corner, but it's fielded by leg slip there. And it looks like it's either is it Stables who's in there. Yes, he's come out of third slip for Siddle. And it so the full field, we've got no third man. We've got 2 slips, a gully, a point, a mid off, a mid on, a mid wicket, a leg slip, and a long leg. Siddle again now. Charges in and bowls short outside the off stump, and he's definitely targeting this leg side, and that's just looking for the fine shave to the fielder there at leg slip. He just adjusts his cap at the moment, so this looks to be the target. So we've got 2 behind square on the leg side now. I don't know if we'll get to the stage where it's worth bringing long leg up and having 2 leg slips in there, but here's Siddle again now, bowling to Thompson, and he's forward in defence, and the ball just runs up there to mid-off. It's a good length ball, again angling across the right-hander before it just holds the straight, and it was quite full, and Thompson was forward there and just played. We'll have to play slightly across the line to that angled ball, but the ball went out safe enough along the ground. And here's Thompson again now, facing Siddle. And Thompson's back in his crease this time, playing out towards point there, and there's no run. Slightly back of a length this time, and just up on his toes on the crease there, and the ball drops down, and that's the end of Siddle's over. So we've got 16 for no wicket Northumberland here, and it's Thompson 13 and Hewison 3, and it's going to be Watkinson again to take up the attack. And that blue sky is just edging close as these clouds move away across to the west, to the east, to our left here. They're coming from the west, and it's going to be Watkinson again now, bowling to Hewison with 3 slips, a gully and a point. Hewison's back and drives off the back foot through the covers. They run. They're going back for 2. It's picked up now, and it's going to be thrown in. and they get through for another couple of runs there. So Hewson it is who's gone to 5 with that shot. 18 for no wicket now. So here we go. We've got a change in the field here. Watkinson's just a little discussion there. So third slips out now, and he's come in to seal up that gap in at extra cover. So 2 slips and a gully, and he lets that one outside the off stump from Watkinson. Does Hewson there, and Tom Hewson, and just retreats to the leg side to lean on his bat a bit, and just comes forward now and has a little brushes a bit of debris off the pitch there. The pitch, it doesn't seem to be having as much life in as it did yesterday morning, but before lunch. But here we go again now. The car takes off up the road behind us as Watkinson's in. It's full and driven, and that's why that field has been put there at extra cover to save the one, or save one at least. And it's Stables who it is who's picked that one up. He's the tall, lean fella. Misjudged a ball from Tom Cant when he was in batting, but he was bowled left, tried to leave one alone, and it just cut back in on him. But here's Watkinson again now, bowling to the right-handed Hewson, who's forward, but shoulders arms again this time, and lets the ball through to Howarth. And sirens blare away, going up. Sounded like they were coming up from the Osborne Road area of the ground. We've got Osborne Avenue behind us here, as the ball hurtles down this end. And here we go again. Here's Watkinson about to start his run up. Here he goes now. Over he goes, and Hewson's equal in defence to that one. Forward he came to a good length ball there. Didn't get much lift off the pitch, just got up to just about above the knee when Hewson was forward there playing back, and Watkinson picks it up and throws it away to be polished by one of his teammates there. But here we go again now. I think it's Sample who's here at mid-off, as in goes Watkinson again, and again Hewson leaves that one outside the off stump, and the end of the over. 18 for no wicket Northumberland, and 80 behind on the first innings scores here. Cumbria took a lead of 98 when they finished the innings, just coming up to 35-40 minutes ago now. And it's Thompson who's on 13, and Hewson on 5. Next in, was it, I can't remember who came in third. I'll have a look in a minute who came in at number 3 the first time round for Northumberland. But Siddle's about to take up the attack now, and that's a strike on the pad, and not given out. Not out, says the umpire at the top end there. And he didn't get very much stepping forward there, Thompson, and everybody went up. The slips, the wicketkeeper, and Siddle himself, and it may just have pitched outside the leg stump there, because Siddle's coming over the wicket, but he didn't get too far forward, Thompson, and they must have thought it was quite close, but the umpire didn't agree. So on we go here. Here's Siddle about to come in again. Charges up now past the umpire and bowls, and Thompson just jams the bat down. No ball signalled by the umpire there. Just gets the signal from the scorers that they've got that one. So that'll be the first extra of the innings, and the score goes to 19 for no wicket here at Northumberland. No, we've got one added on. We must have missed one off somewhere, because it's now gone up to 20 for no wicket Northumberland. As in comes Siddle again now, and that's turned round the corner there, and that leg slip just waiting perilously close to the batsman there, but Thompson managed to steer that one into the ground, and there was no run. So 20 for no wicket. The lead now down to 78. For Cumbria, but Siddle again for the visitors here. In he comes. Thompson strikes that one square out towards the square leg umpire there, but doesn't time it, and the ball just comes off the inside half of the bat there and rolls out. It was a fullish ball, and he got forward to it, but no runs off that one. I suppose the main aim here is to get through to lunch, and if these two are still there, Northumberland will be the happier of the two. But here's Siddle in again now with bowls, and Thompson's back on his haunches this time and just jams the bat down and fends that one round the corner, and it's picked up at leg slip off the ground there, and there's no run. Still 24, no wicket. Thompson on strike. 13. Shirt sleeves on. Just holding his bat, just having a look around the field now, and the blue sky is nearly upon us here. The clouds just making their way over, so let's see if we can get some sun eventually. 2 slips in a gully now. Siddle bowls again, and again that's defended off middle leg out to mid wicket this time by Thompson, and there's no run, and he just goes forward now and has a little look at the pitch where that one hit the turf there, and just taps down a few little bumps with his bat there. We've lost the 2 big piles of sawdust at the end of the run-ups there. Let's hope we don't need them again. Just a couple of patches left where they were put down on the first day on the square. But here's Siddle again now, bowling to Thompson, who mistimes a drive there, but fortunately he's kept it on the ground, and it runs up to mid-off, and there's no run. 20 for no wicket Northumberland, and they still trail Cumbria by 78 here. And at the end of that one, Hewison 5, I beg your pardon, and Thompson 13. And they just switch over on our little app here. 1 extra so far. Or is that 2 extras? 2 extras so far in the innings. And it's going to be Watkinson to take up the strike again. 2 chaps over there just having a little wander around the ground. They're going clockwise. We're in our little box here, down behind the long off boundary, as Watkinson's in now to bowl. And that's flicked over mid-wicket, and that'll run out to the boundary, I think. A couple of bounces, and will it beat the fielder? I think it has. Yes, it's just gone over now. The fieldsman there just stops himself on one of the advertisement boards. So the first boundary to Hewison, he's gone to 9, and the score's gone to 24. And just a little bit too straight there and full, and nicely flicked up over. He got it high enough to fend off any danger from a catch there, did Hewison. So here's Watkinson again now. Front on as he runs in, and that one's a little bit shorter this time, and it gets some bounce, but not too short though, and all Hewison can do there is fend it down into mid-wicket, into the ground, and the ball doesn't get off the square. So Watkinson just leaves the polishing to somebody else. Now he's got the ball back. In fact, he does give it a bit of a polish there on his right thigh before he runs in again now, away from us here, and bowls to Hewison, who plays back out to point there, and there's no run. And definitely, yes, just looking over, I think we're in for some good weather all of a sudden here on the 3rd and last day of this minor county championship match here between Northumberland and Cumberland. And we've certainly lost a fair bit of time, but Watkinson to Hewison again, who's forward to a well pitched ball, but he just lets it through to the wicketkeeper, and there's no run. And the ball just up there now. Just have a look up. Yes, the clouds are just disappearing off towards the coast there. Just across to our left, we out towards Wallsend, and beyond that Tynemouth and North Shields. So here's Watkinson again now, runs in and bowls to Hewison, who comes forward to a full one. Well, his weight came forward there, his feet didn't move very far, but he manages to get a good bat on it out to mid-on, and it's picked up. No run. Here's Watkinson again now, bowling to Hewison, who's forward again, and he gets some lift there, Watkinson, from quite a good length, but Hewison's equal to it, just lets it through to the wicketkeeper, and there's no run at the end of Watkinson's over there. So Northumberland, starting their innings 98 runs behind here, their second innings are 24 without loss. Thompson's there on 13, and it's Hewison on 9. And we've got 77 overs left in the day here, plus the last hour as well. So the official finish time today 5:30. And here comes the sun. The sun's just come out here at Jesmond, and I think that was greeted with a little round of applause there. But here's Siddle, 2 slips and a gully, and Thompson on strike and just defends this one down square from the crease, and it's picked up in there at close point, and there's no run. So we've still got that leg slip in place. We've got 2 slips, a gully, a point, a mid-off, a mid-on, a mid-wicket, a long leg and a leg slip. I think the leg slips just drop back a yard or two here. But here's Siddle again, short, and it's pulled, but he two-ended it, that one, Thompson, and he didn't time it at all, and he's lucky that didn't carry further than it did, because it was one bounce on the fielder there, who's quite close in at mid-wicket, definitely saving one, and there for the catch of something just like that as well. So it's been Siddle targeting middle and leg here, trying to either get that mistimed pull or that little glancing edge with that leg slip in there as well. But here's Siddle again now, runs in towards us, bright sunshine now, and that one's on leg stump again, and Thompson just jams the bat down. It comes off an inside edge up round the corner here, and it's picked up, and there's no run. Still 24 for no wicket here, Northumberland in their second innings. And here comes Siddle again now. Charges in and bowls. Thompson drives a full ball there off his toes, and it goes just off the straight onto the leg side, and it's fielded at deep mid-on there. So the fielders at mid-off and mid-on, they're starting very deep as a wasp just comes and joins us in the box here. Go on, away. There, you can go out the door. There we go. We've got rid of a little wasp who just came in to say hello there. But yes, they're deep when they start off, but they come in quite a way as Siddle runs in again now and bowls. And there's Thompson, who just defends down from the crease into the offside, and there's no run again. Still 24 for no wicket here at Northumberland. 74, I beg your pardon, 74 behind at the moment to Cumbria's 356 for 8, and the innings finished just under an hour ago, their first innings, and that one strikes Thompson on the pad and shoots out, or maybe some bat in there as well, but it doesn't go very far. It's fielded in at backward point, and there's no run, and that's the end of the over. We've got 24 for no wicket here, Northumberland. Thompson 13 and Hewison 9 not out at the top of the second innings here for the home side. And we're going to have Watkinson again. So what time are we on? Just coming up to 20 to 1 here. We've got about 40 minutes to go now until the lunch break. And it was at this time yesterday that a flurry of Cumbria wickets fell, and just before lunch. But that give Northumberland heart. So here's Watkinson trying to do the same for Cumberland, and the oohs and ahs there. That ball just missed the off stump, with Hewison shouldering arms there. He left that one alone, and there was more than just one of them, Watkinson out there, oohing and ahhing at that one. But it doesn't look like we're going to have this sunshine for very much longer, because we've got another bank of cloud coming across. But let's enjoy it while it lasts here at Jesmond. So we've got 2 slips now, a gully, we've got a backward point, an extra cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, and a mid-wicket and a fine leg. And there's Hewison again now, the taller of the 2 batsmen, just fending off into the offside, and it's picked up there in the gully, and there's no run. So we'll go to the end of this over, and that's where we'll finish our second broadcast of the day here on Spreaker Internet Radio on Cricket West Tyne, on the third and last day of this match, with Northumberland trying to bat for a fair proportion of the day here to save this match. Still 74 behind in their second innings here, as Watkinson's in and he doesn't bowl. And he went through the whole action, everything was there. There was just one thing missing, that he didn't let go of the ball. So I don't know what happened there. He maybe got a fly in his mouth or something when he went over, but I don't think that would stop him letting go of the ball. So maybe just didn't feel right at all, and he's having a bit of a laugh about it there as well. And here he's going to try this one again. The umpire did signal dead ball there, but he's in now and bowls, and Hewison was forward at that one, and he didn't, just past the edge, beats him outside the off stump, and it's still 24 for no wicket here. Yes, we'll head off the air at the end of this over, but we'll be back our next broadcast at 2:30, so do join us then if you can. But here's Watkinson for the moment, about to bowl. Watkinson to Hewison. Hewison batting, and it's let through, and the ball goes thump there into Howarth's gloves, about waist height. Just left that one alone, didn't offer a stroke there. And we've still got the sun at the moment, and it looks like we're going to have a change of bowling. You're going to have a change of bowling for the next over. Looks like Siddle's going to come off, and it's either going to be Slack or Stables who may come on. Looks like Stables, Slack, who might bowl the next one. But this one from Watkinson outside the off stump, and again plenty of bounce though from a good length, but Hewison able to let it through to the keeper, and there's no run again. And it's Slack down on the floor there. He's just doing one of those funny stretches, lying on his back at the moment. He's got his legs spread out a long way, and he's up again on his feet now. But here's Watkinson now, running in with the sun shining on him. Just glints off his shirt as he goes in now to Hewison, who comes forward. He drives for one. They're going to have to be quick here. There's a shot at the store. Wayward throw. Oh, there's 4 byes as well. 4 overthrows, I beg your pardon. And that was a wayward throw to the left of the stumps and to the left of the wicketkeeper Howarth. So there'll be 5 added to the total there. 1 single with the drive there, and 4 overthrows as well. So the score there goes to 29 for no wicket Northumberland. And it's just looking 29, yes, and there'll be 1 has gone on to 5 has been added on there. Yes, I've just seen it, 5 added on to Hewison's score there, so he's 14 not out now, and that was the end of the over as well. So this is where I'll leave you just for now. We'll go. We'll be back at 2:30 as I know Siddle's going to continue here, just to let you know. So we'll be back at 2:30 here, but we'll just see this first one. He's coming in now to run, and it's a nice on drive this time from Hewison, and it's going to be stopped before the boundary, and they're just going to get 1 run off that one. So he runs up to the far end there. So one more to the total there. It's now 30 for no wicket Northumberland at the start of their second innings here. They trail now by 68, and I'll leave you with 12 overs complete in their second innings here, the third innings of the match. So until 2:30, I'll leave you Northumberland 30 for no wicket, still trailing by 68. Hewison is 15 not out, and Thompson is 13. So until 2:30, I'll speak to you again then.